Hi everyone. I'm here to share a story for you and for the intention today. I want and am really excited about expressing this story and to share it with you and sharing it to the world of intention, to this field. My story is an experience. I guess you would call it a peak experience, or it was kind of an awakening experience. Let me just give you a little background. This is for my place of employment, right? So it's the Ocean County YMCA here in New Jersey. And I've worked there for since 2004. So it's now 2021, 16 years, 17 years I've been affiliated with them. And it's near and dear to my heart. Since 2004, my mother died of rheumatoid arthritis, and I wanted to work in the pool because the pool was a place where she found relief from her rheumatoid arthritis. So that's what I wanted to do. After my mother died, I wanted to work with people who were in pain, because I kind of grew up with that. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So today, I want to tell you about a program that I helped run there that made me think about caregiving, a lot about caregiving. I helped facilitate a program called Special Needs Program, where people of various abilities, physical, mental, but mainly physical. There was some autistic children that would come, special needs. They would come and get freedom of movement into the pool. So it was a wonderful program. We had people from schools who had children that were in wheelchairs. It was a lot of MS workers and patients who had MS and strokes. There was one gentleman in particular who had a stroke, and he lost one side of his body, was unable to function, leg and arm. So it was interesting to work with these people. They would come, and we had a lift that they would transfer over from the chair to the lift chair, and they would have to transfer. And then I or the lifeguard would, do the manual work of getting the chair up. There was a button. And, we finally got a chair that people could work on their own, but they always needed a little help. So I was there, or one of the lifeguards was there. But I learned a lot about caregiving, and this is where it really kind of sunk in for me. I saw the stress levels of the caregivers. And some of them would go in, and but I would talk to them as well and say, you need something for yourself. And a lot of times I'd give them a little bit of time and talk about taking care of them, and it blossomed into that. But anyway, I want to tell you about a story about the one gentleman who had a stroke, and he was an interesting fellow. And I had tried to work with him on losing weight and just trying to be a little bit more. He had a wonderful sense of humor, but in a way it deterred him from kind of setting focus and setting goals. It's what was wonderful about him, that even though he was in a wheelchair and he had a stroke and was in this situation, he was able to tell a joke. That was his thing. He would come to the pool, and it was a big thing about him to have his weekly joke. And so one day he came in and told his joke, and it was like, bum Kenny's joke, but anyway, he got into the chair, and so he made his transfer. He always he had to stand, he had to, push off the one side, the one arm would be close to him, and he would, it was like we had a good routine, right? So he's getting in the chair by himself, and I'm just there to guide him and put the belt around him for him to get into the pool so he could have his weekly swim. And this program was given out to them. It was a free program that the Y sponsored. So as a nonprofit, this is why I'm still connected to the Y, because it's near and dear to my heart that they understand the needs of the community in ways like this. So anyway, getting back to the experience, is the lift was really, really old, and we were trying to get a new lift, and costs a lot of money. And so, and this participant he's about 300 pounds. So maybe not so much 300, maybe 260, 275, all right? So he gets on the lift, and I notice something is happening to the lift, and I see that it's not holding him. So I go to hold the seat, the bottom seat of it. It's like a plastic piece. That's the seat of the lift. It's like a hydraulic lift. And I'm holding him because his one leg curls under, the one that he doesn't have so much control over. So I'm noticing that the lift is broken. The part that comes down, the pivot point, the axle, whatever, it's not holding him at all. I'm holding him. So I I realized that I can't let go because his leg is underneath the chair because of the leg that's affected by his stroke. So I'm feeling the urgency of the moment, and I understand that I'm holding all 250, 75 pounds of him. And I realize that I'm not going to be able to hold him much longer, or that I need help because someone needs to get the leg out from under him. So I notice that my voice is somewhat paralyzed. I'm not able to speak at this juncture of this experience. And someone who I work with, who finally someone realized what was going on, and she came and she held the chair. And I'm thinking to myself, I need to tell her, move his leg. And it took some type of response. Like I can't explain exactly why I couldn't speak the words, but this is something that I'm working on. So finally I said to Sarah, who I think she was probably on the same wavelength, she didn't realize, just move his leg and we can lower him to the ground. So I said, move his leg, please get it out from under the chair. And we finally did. And I finally spoke, and she moved his leg and he was lowered to the ground. In conclusion, and afterwards, I had to step back because I really felt the energy flow through me. I felt, wow, what just happened? And I was moving my body like, am I hurt? Wait, I was just holding all that. I was holding that, and I'm not hurt. My muscles aren't strained at all. And I just had to kind of walk around, and the CEO came through and he was like, you okay? And he gave me this look like, you're okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm okay. But nobody came up to me and said, wow, you were holding him. Isn't that awesome? The adrenaline flow or the energy flow. Like no one noticed the power of that moment. And this is good. This is 3 years ago, and I still think of that, and I think of how if we could just harness that, but we can. We just have to care. So thank you for listening to my expression of empowerment. And when you're feeling low or weak, please remember the potential that we have. Thank you.